Favorite director right now is Kurosawa, who did this movie called Cairo, and a movie called Cure, this movie called Creepy. They're all really good. It's like slow burn, nothing happens in them type shit. Like my favorite kind of thing. Played Outlast 1 and 2 with my friend. That was fucking scary. Literally, it's fire. That's one of my favorite horror movie tropes, when people just have their dick out. Like It Follows has that.
The dude on the roof.
The dude on the roof was, yeah, exactly. Oh, Perfect Blue is so good. I still haven't seen Paprika, but Perfect Blue is crazy. Always loved the Insidious movies. Sinister is fire. Sinister 2 is not fire. Like Riverdale's so fire. It's like a necessary evil. Like that show needed to exist, and I'm very glad it does. There's a lot of crazy moments I've seen from Riverdale. When I was younger, I used to get scared by like real things that would never happen. There was one time I stayed at this like lake, and I had just watched some video about like a lake jellyfish that like crawls into your little private parts and then kills you. And I was like, I'm not going in the lake. Creepypasta? I don't know. Aside from the like Bongchon Dong ghost or whatever, like classic like going to the store, who wants anything. There was this one creepypasta at one point where he like gouges both of his eyes out with a spoon. And I think it was something where he was like needed symmetry or whatever, but he had two-toned eyes. So he was like, well, I'll just scoop this one out then. And he's like, well, now it's asymmetrical. I have to scoop the other one out.
Creepypasta formula is always like, okay, mental illness, therefore this, and then like some awful event happens.
Literally. I never really dressed up for Halloween when I was younger. Yo, I remember like my whole family had left the house and I was there to like dish out the candy or whatever. But I like didn't want to do that. So I like put a bowl of candy out and then I went into my room and played Minecraft. I just remember hearing like all the doorbells and then people being like, this house sucks, while I was like cowering in my room being like, trying to play Minecraft. I'm just starting to now get into Halloween. For trans people, I think it's like always a complicated relationship with it, maybe. I also just love the tropes and stuff. McMansion thing, where like they're always running through these like super nice houses. I think the newer movies have been really good at like twisting it on its head and stuff like that. Malignant was crazy. There's a little thing to get past where you're like not sure what the movie's supposed to be. It becomes apparent what it's supposed to be, and then you're like, oh, okay. Favorite movie when I was younger used to be Cabin in the Woods. For like a fucking 12-year-old like smart ass. That's the shit. When I was younger, I really liked this movie called Oculus. I used to be like, this is the best horror movie I've ever seen. And then 2 Halloweens ago, I watched it with a bunch of my friends, and it was so bad. It was so bad. I was so embarrassed.
And you like went into it being like, guys, it's the best movie ever.
Yes, I remember being like, I've enjoyed this more than any other horror movie. And then I went back in and I was like, ugh. At the end of Indiana Jones and the Crystal Skull, there's this part where the like Ukrainian woman is like surrounded by all of those like beings or some shit, like the aliens or some shit. And then her eyes light on fire for about like 1.4 seconds. That used to scare the shit out of me. When that movie had came out, I was like a kid going to sleepovers. So like when they would put it on, I would always talk to the mom or whatever and be like, when this part comes, you need to get me out of the room. I remember being so stoked to see Unfriended. And then I took like 2 of my friends who were skeptical about it to the theater and we sat through the whole thing. And then once it ended, like one of my friends threw their popcorn at me. There's one part, I think it's like the first character that dies. She's like on the fucking Skype call. And then at some point she just like freezes. Everyone starts to realize and then they all go quiet and they're just like staring at her. That's sick. Like they managed to do something cool with the Skype call. But some of the parts, like the fucking blender.
Yeah, the blender part where he's like, guys, I have this blender on my desk.
I have this blender in my bedroom.
Guys, check out this blender. This isn't going to be incorporated later. All right, I think that's going to wrap it up for us. Thank you so much for reading with me today. This has been awesome.
Are you not going to scare me?
What? How am I supposed to scare? What am I supposed to freeze and then just like cut to a shot of me jumping off a building?
I was literally like, there's no way you're not going to like pull some jump scare shit and then the video is going to be like scaring the hyperpop scene.
That would be, God damn it. I've interviewed like 25 people at this point. That thought never even crossed my mind. That would have been really funny.
It had occurred to me like an hour ago. I was like, oh my God, Backlight Noah is going to scare the shit out of me. And I have to be prepared. I have to say something like witty. Like I have to be like, are you done?